You've heard it before. Stop waiting, start building. It sounds bold. It sounds brave. But here's the twist. You already are building, whether you realize it or not. Every day you wait. You're still building. You're building hesitation. You're laying bricks of fear, stacking walls of doubt, pouring foundations of regret. Time doesn't stop just because you're unsure. Every decision you don't make, every risk you don't take, that's still construction. But it's a life built by default, not design. So here's your wake-up call. If you're going to build something anyway, make it intentional. Make it yours. Start today, because the only thing worse than starting late is realizing you've spent years constructing someone else's dream, or worse, your own prison. Wherever you are in the world, however you're hearing this, today is the day everything can change. Not because I'm standing here with some magic answer. Not because the world just gave you a green light, but because something inside you is finally ready to hear this. Stop waiting. Start building. The lie of the right time. Let's start with the biggest myth that holds people back. I'm just waiting for the right time. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you said it? We wait for the right mood, the right energy, the right alignment of stars, signs, and seasons. We say, once I finish this job, when I have more money, once the kids grow up, when I'm ready. Let me be blunt. There is no right time. There is only now. The world doesn't pause while you wait. Opportunities don't sit quietly with your name on them. Dreams have expiration dates, not because they become impossible, but because we let them die through neglect. Every moment you wait, you're reinforcing the belief that what you want isn't urgent, isn't possible, isn't yours. What waiting really is. Waiting is comfort dressed as logic. It's fear wearing a business suit. Let's call it what it is. Waiting is procrastination with a PR team. Waiting is fear of failure disguised as patience. Waiting is the silent killer of potential. You think you're being wise, cautious, strategic, but most of the time, you're just scared. And that's okay. Fear is human. But if you let it steer the wheel, don't be surprised when your dreams never leave the driveway. You don't need permission. One of the hardest truths to accept is this. No one is coming to give you permission. Not your parents, not your boss, not your partner, not your friends, not even the universe. You are not a character in someone else's story. You are not waiting for a go signal. You are the author, the builder, the CEO of your life. Think about that. How many dreams have been deferred because someone was waiting to be ready? Spoiler alert, you will never feel 100% ready. And that's good, because if you're slightly uncomfortable, it means you're growing. If your knees are shaking a bit, it means you're stepping into something bigger than you've done before. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be. You are already equipped, but I don't know how to start. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. You already have everything you need to take the first step. Maybe not the 10th step, maybe not the final step, but you are not empty. You are not behind, you are not unworthy. You've lived, you've overcome, you've endured. That means you've gained strength, wisdom, tools, resilience. And those are the materials you start building with. Stop waiting until you feel qualified. The people who build big things, they don't start because they know everything. They start because they know enough to take the next step, and if they don't, they figure it out on the way. So will you. The power of starting, ugly one of the greatest lies ever told, is that you have to be great to begin. Wrong. You don't start great. You start messy, you start awkward. You start with a $50 webcam, a cheap notebook, shaky confidence, and way too many browser tabs open. And that's beautiful. Because building is not about perfection, it's about progress. Let's be clear, starting ugly is still starting, and the world has been changed by people who started ugly. Steve Jobs started in a garage. Oprah was fired from her first reporting job. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers. You think they waited for everything to be perfect? Number, they built anyway. And so can you. The brick-by-brick mentality. We romanticize overnight success. But real builders know better. Success is brick by brick. It's waking up 1 hour earlier, writing one more page, recording one more video, making one more sale, having one more hard conversation. Big dreams are not built with one heroic leap. They're built with consistent, small choices that stack up like bricks. You don't build a castle in a day. You build it one stone at a time. So stop staring at the blueprints and wondering how high the tower will go. Just lay the next brick, and then the next, and the next. Before you know it, you've built something real. The cost of not building. Let me ask you something. What's the cost of waiting? Most people only calculate the risk of starting, but what about the cost of not starting? How much joy have you missed because you waited? How many opportunities passed you by? How much potential has rotted on the vine? Time is the one currency you never get back, and one day you'll either be proud of what you built or filled with regret over what you never tried. Regret isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It whispers in quiet moments. It asks questions you can't unhear. What if I had tried? What if I had started when I felt the spark? What could I have created if I just believed in myself for once? That's a pain no success later in life can erase. So build now, even if it's slow, even if it's scary, especially if it's scary. Build with what you have. Don't wait until you get better tools, better connections, more followers, a fancy office. Start with what's in your hand. Moses led people with a staff. Da Vinci painted with brushes he made himself. Musicians write chart toppers on napkins. You don't need a $10,000 setup. You need vision. You need grit. You need heart. So take inventory. What's already in your hands? A story, a skill, a passion, a lesson you learned the hard way. Use it. Start with it. Build with it. What you build builds you. Here's the beautiful part. The moment you start building, something magical happens. What you build builds you. Every goal you chase sharpens you. Every failure teaches you. Every win affirms you. Every brick laid makes you stronger, wiser, bolder. You grow in the process. You evolve. You stop being the person who talks about doing things and become the person who does them. Builders are a different breed. They stop waiting for the world to change. They change themselves, and in doing so, they change the world. Don't build alone. Now, this journey isn't meant to be solo. Every great builder has a team. Find your tribe. Find those who believe in what you're building, even before it exists. Mentors, friends, partners, creators, encouragers. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your power. People who push you to keep going when you want to quit. People who hand you a brick when yours falls. Build with purpose. Don't build just for the flex, for the followers, for the money. That's hollow. That fades. Build for something that sets your soul on fire. Build for legacy. Build for freedom. Build for the person you used to be, the one who needed a hero. Build for the people you'll impact, the lives you'll touch. Because when your why is bigger than your fear, you become unstoppable. Every single day you hesitate, waiting for confidence to magically appear or clarity to fall into your lap, is another day where someone with less talent but more courage takes the opportunity that could have been yours. You've spent too long seeking permission from people who don't carry your vision, waiting for validation from voices that have never walked a single step in your shoes. The future you dream about isn't waiting somewhere far off in the distance. It's quietly sitting behind the wall of excuses you've built out of fear, doubt, and overthinking. Success isn't born in a sudden burst of inspiration or luck. It's carved out in the quiet hours of consistent action, of showing up even when you're unsure, even when the outcome is blurry. You can read every book, take every course, and watch every motivational video, but none of it will matter until you decide that starting imperfectly is better than never starting at all. There are people in this world who are desperately waiting for the thing you've been too afraid to build because your unfinished dream might be the answer to someone else's silent prayer. Every minute you postpone building your future is a moment stolen from the version of you who could already be living it. Stronger, bolder, and more fulfilled. The road will never fully reveal itself before you take the first step, because the map unfolds as you walk it, and clarity only comes to those willing to move through the fog. Let me leave you with this. There is no more waiting. You've waited long enough. You've doubted long enough. You've made excuses long enough. It's your time now. Not because the conditions are perfect, not because someone said so, but because you finally understand. You don't need permission to build the life you want. So take the first step. Send the email. Post the video, write the first page, launch the idea, make the call, say yes. Because every mountain you've ever admired was built one brick, one bold step, one quiet act of courage at a time. And yours starts now. Stop waiting. Start building.